From the banks of the Allegheny, welcome to Film Bits. Hey everybody, real excited for this one. We are going to get into one of my favorite films of all time, Seven. I'm not going to have too much to say right now. I'll just chat along with you as the credits start up here. This New Line Cinema production starring Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and Gwyneth Paltrow. So well written. Such a great ending that you don't expect. And here is Officer Somerset, played by Morgan Freeman. Notice the diegetic sound here. Wherever he's living, it's nothing but sirens. It's either a TV playing in his background or the sounds coming through the walls in his apartment. Interesting EDC line there. Also shows that the way that it's laid out, something about his character, kind of the meticulousness of this guy. And that helps right there. It picks that little bit of lint off of his coat. And we get, before Somerset even says a word, we get an idea of who this dude is. Then a quick transition to a dead body. Brad Pitt coming up. There was a nice shot when Somerset first started of that guy. Long shot. It was pretty nice. Mills. Rain. Lots of rain. Low angle shot. So there's our first reference to Seven, our first important reference to Seven. Somerset is retiring in 7 days, and Mills is coming in to kind of take his place. Back to Somerset's apartment. I thought it was really interesting the way that whole bit of them meeting up was shot in that low angle. And we hear, now we're probably 12 hours later, and we're still hearing the outside noises of the life of the city. Those diegetic sounds. Now a car alarm going off. That metronome perhaps helping Somerset chill out a little bit after a long day. Seems like he lives either in the heart of like downtown or something where a lot of the crime is, or the city's so big and sprawling the crime is everywhere. I'd go with the former. And now into this very cool credit sequence. I actually broke this down when I taught this shot by shot. There are a bunch of different shots in here. I'm going to just let it play and let you guys watch this. Razors trimming on fingers, and the skin flowing off. Notice we get quick shots and we get shots that spend a little bit more time. There's fingers covered in bandages, composition books, and info going into the composition books. A little bit of water, a photos being edited. We see a photo setup, it looks like. This music was composed by 9 Inch Nails. I forget his name. Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor does this, the music for this intro. And I think he does it for all the movie. We'll have to see in the credits. No, the music is by Howard Shore. So Trent Reznor is just doing this intro theme. They're just using his music for this, for 9 Inch Nails. This beginning credit sequence obviously is giving us some clues. It becomes very significant on a second watch of the film. Like how the light plays there in the second shot we got of those pages in the journal. There's another shot of it. Seemed to be a little Nick 1, Pearl 2 with some... Oh, so these are journals that are also hand-sewn together. The bindings sewed together. Directed by the great David Fincher. Monday. When we see Monday, and when we hear Somerset reference to 7 days, we know we are on a day countdown. That this film is probably going to go Monday to Sunday. Mills and his wife, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. You see they still have stuff in boxes. They've just moved here. Somerset intimates to that. Why did you want to come here? Here, obviously, being any big city. The city's never named. All right? This was filmed in Los Angeles, in as far as the downtown sequences, filmed in parts of Los Angeles, but the city is never named. So it can be any big city. Detroit, New York City, L.A., Houston. where crime is always rampant in the inner city parts, downtown areas. And he's living somewhere where there's a lot of noise too. Rain. It's going to become a constant. Seems to be a little cold rain too, by the way Brad Pitt is standing there. I've always thought of, because of all the rain here, that maybe this is Seattle. Doesn't matter where it is, really. Sometimes it makes you feel better to put things in a place. Quick pause. So, one thing we're seeing with the interactions of the two other cops that we've seen besides our two homicide detectives is there's just a general kind of disdain, disrespect, attitude about the police force. And that kind of gives us a character of the city itself. When the people doing the policing outside of Somerset and Mills don't seem to care very much. The one guy said earlier, I'll be glad when we get rid of you. You're always with the questions. That lets us know Somerset is a caring detective. He's thinking. He's trying to find, whatever happened here. The other guy had already solved the case without doing any investigating. He said the wife killed the husband, and that was that. And maybe that was the truth. But just some illustration of the bigger machines of a city through just these little bits of dialogue as exhibited by these extra police officers. Pick it back up. Lighting, very important in 7, as is the color palette. We'll talk more about that as we go along. Love the lighting. You can see the beams. The lack of light, the dinginess of the interior lets us know we're at a place that probably not a lot of us would want to live in. And again, I just love those beams. Oh, that's nice. He's dead. Thank you, Doctor. All right, so that is part 1. We have this interesting murder victim, and we have a trope that we've seen used a lot, the archetype of the buddy movie with two cops that aren't necessarily buddies. They're usually, particularly in a cop film, diametrically opposed. Doing the same kind of thing with True Detective, where you have partner cops that don't necessarily see eye to eye. Here we have a couple things going on. The age of Somerset and the youth of Mills, and within Mills's youth, that desire to prove himself. He's been obviously rural based on the tractor pull line from his wife, and he wants to come to the big city and show that he can do this job, where Somerset has spent all too much time in this big city and can't understand why anyone would want to come here. So we're going to close it down there. We'll pick it back up in another part. We're going to learn a little bit more about this dude that they just found and start getting into the mystery of 7. If you've seen it before, you know it. But if not, it's a pretty fun one to take along step by step, inch by inch, and all that good stuff. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon.